talk about a couple of things. I was on a forum and we were talking about traveling, and I didn't get a chance to talk much about my experience. I was talking about a unique experience that I had when I went to Iceland with some friends. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and then just get on here and encourage people to take a vacation. I actually just went out of town about 2 hours away from my house this weekend, and I went with my husband, but I met up with some friends and we went to see, I actually talked about it last night, but we went to see a play, and it was really good. And the last couple of vacations that I've been on, people have been like arguing. Not in my company, no, not at all. But I went to Atlanta a few weeks ago, and I woke up about, I was awakened out of my sleep about 2:30 ish a.m. And I heard somebody like arguing. First, I heard the man, and then I believe what it was, a woman. They were arguing. I'm like, my heart was racing and panicking. And I started praying, and then I was like, should I call the police? Should I call the hotel? Should I call my husband? So I called my husband. I was calling every the hotel and everything to make sure everybody was okay. And I mean, whatever fight this was, it was pretty brutal. They were arguing for a while, and I'm like, can somebody please get up there and like save whoever is save these people, because like this is easy. Um, but it was actually pretty scary. Usually that kind of stuff doesn't scare me. I'm kind of one of those people that I'll take a broom and or something like, hey, boom, 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 cut that out, because they were right above me, and it was really weird. And I was asleep, y'all. I was knocked out. But it was really weird to hear something like that, and I believe it was a pretty knockout, drag out fight, and I heard whimpering and everything after that. So I just really just stayed in prayer, and just was really hoping that nobody was hurt. So it was it was crazy, because I have not seen fights like that on vacations, or heard fights like that. And then yesterday when we went out of town, there was a couple. We ended up having to move. We got a suite, and the suite was really nice, and then we didn't have any air. So I came back from the play. My husband had been trying to fix the air. I'm like, dude, you're not maintenance. But he had tried to fix the air, and it didn't work, and they couldn't get anybody in till the next day. So they switched us rooms, and we switched rooms, and we knew that the people in that room had like a baby. But then in the morning, probably like eight something, why are you arguing at eight? We heard the first argument, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna roll back over and go to sleep. It's not that big deal. And then about nine, they just started arguing, like for real arguing. So I'm like, I bammed on the wall, and I'm like, man, cut that out, because we low key on vacation. I don't want to hear that. So people are just kind of on edge, and um, I think when you take vacations, you need to chill. Back in the day when I would take vacations, especially with my kids, I would try to be kind of like on autopilot. If they weren't killing themselves, they weren't doing anything illegal, and they weren't doing anything like crazy, I would just kind of let them do what they do, because I was on vacation and I didn't want to be the way that I am at home. Like, hey, everybody, I didn't want to be that way. So I try to chill on vacations, but people have not been chilling on vacations. And I don't know how you spend all that money and you ruin your vacation, but that's on you. So again, I was going to talk about the opportunity that we had in Iceland some years back. I actually went with some friends, and it was amazing. No, we didn't fight on that trip or anything like that. We know how to act. But the trip, when someone asked me about Iceland and how do you get prepared to go on solo trips, and how do you prepare to be on trips and, by yourself or whatever, what I do is I had never been to Iceland at all. And so I pretty much read about it. I study places that I'm going to go first. The reason why I study is because I want to know what's going on over there. If I'm not supposed to wear a certain thing, or certain customs that they have that I don't know, I want to be in line when I get there. I want to know what's going on. I want to be appropriate. So I read about Iceland. I read about their laws. I read that they don't have a lot of crime. It was just a lot of stuff. Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining. I read that they don't have a lot of crime or anything like that. So before we went, we prepared. We studied about unique things. Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining. I appreciate you, Cam. So anyway, going back, when we visited Iceland, of course, I had learned all the rules. The funny thing is, when we first got there, I thought I kind of knew everything, and we were driving, and we took a rental car. Hey, we took a rental car, and well, we thought that we could just get in a rental car. It had a GPS on it, but we didn't know the language. So we were trying to, hey, how you doing? So we were trying to put in locations and didn't know how to spell it. And the GPS did not translate for us or anything like that. So that was the first hiccup. We had a GPS and everything in the car and could not use it. So then we found out that our phones did not work internationally. How are you? I'm 19. I am 42. I'm old. We found out that our phones did not work internationally. And okay, never mind. Okay. And so there was only one person's phone that was actually working the whole time. So it was pretty much a blessing. So when you go out internationally, I forgot to put my international calls back onto my phone because it's not like in my plan. So you have to make sure that you do that kind of thing too. Make sure that you have international service, because if it wasn't for that person in our group that had the international plan, we would have been messed up. But her plan, actually, sometimes her phone worked pretty much the whole time. There was another person that their phone didn't was working periodically, and then the others, our phone didn't work. But one of the funny things that happened that I was going to tell everybody about, we saw different things. They actually keep their babies outside. Their babies can sleep outside, like in on their porch or on their balconies. And even if it's cold, they say that when a baby sleeps outside, and nobody messes with the baby, they don't kidnap them or anything like that. It could be in front of a coffee shop and the baby could be outside, but they say that their lungs get strengthened and all that in Iceland. So it's kind of crazy. And so when we went there, we seen kind of different things. I had read about the laws of the land. And so they are really sticklers about how they keep how they keep nature, how they keep their land. They don't want you to speed or anything like that. And speeding tickets in Iceland are pretty daggone expensive. But I had read about it, so I had let everybody know. And crazy thing is, we ended up getting a speeding ticket. So I'm going to do a video just to show you guys. They had captured us, and I wasn't driving at the time. I was actually asleep. So my friend who was driving, they was like, "Hey, we went through we went through a light and it was a frowny face. What does that mean?" And I was like, "Oh no." They woke me up and told me that. And I said, "If we went through a frowny face, that means we got a ticket." And sure enough, we were there for maybe a week and a half or something like that. Sure enough, when I got back to the States, I was right in customs in New York, and boom, I look at my email, and Iceland had already sent me a ticket for me to pay. The good thing is I could just pay right online. They did show our picture, and my friend who was driving, she's on there. They must have had a good conversation because she was smiling, the passenger was smiling, and yeah, we got a ticket. It was a pretty hefty ticket. I think either almost $200 or a little bit over $200. So when you're traveling, just some key points, because a lot of people are saying that they're scared to travel. I travel all the time by myself solo. I don't mind going anywhere by myself solo. Now I'm not stupid. There are certain places that I'm not going to go by myself. But I don't mind traveling by myself. I read and I know the rules to go before I go, and then I make sure that I'm safe. So some key rules to traveling is, first, know where you're going and know their customs, know a lot of their rules, their basic rules. When you are going solo, make sure it's a place that's going to be safe. Make sure people know your location. If it's international, make sure your international calls are on. And then make sure that you can possibly translate the language. if you can't know their transportation and things like that. So I just wanted to get on here and just kind of talk about travel. Oh, and the last thing, the biggest thing, have fun. Have fun. You don't need to be fighting. You don't need to be arguing. You don't need to be trashing your hotel and trashing the cruise. I'm seeing cruise. I've seen cruise ships. It's crazy. Being that it's just fights breaking out just everywhere. You spent a lot of money on your vacation. You don't need to be fighting. That's insane to me. So I'm gonna be talking about travel. I'm gonna be talking about food related things. But I just wanted to get on here to encourage people to still travel. Go out. Don't let things that's going on around us keep you in fear of not being able to travel and have fun and things like that. So, all right, it's your girl, the real Gina B, Date with a Plate.